right, hello, welcome everybody. Welcome back to the Mario Kart Boards channel. Today we've got a really special CTL match for you. This is a Week 8 match between Succeeder Parish and Yowndrift, the top two teams in Division 1. This is going to be a very important match to decide, probably to decide first seed, actually. So I'm actually joined by Saturn. Go ahead and say hi.
Hi guys, it's me Saturn. I'm really excited to see this matchup today between the top two teams in Division 1.
This will likely decide who gets first seed going into playoffs. Succeeder Parish is sitting at 6-1, and Yowndrift is sitting at 5-2. But don't underestimate Yowndrift. Their only two losses this season were by 2 points and by 8 points. So all of their matches have been extremely good, but their losses were just shy. So let's go over the lineups real quick, just before we start. So for YN's lineup, we have pretty standard for Yowndrift. Looks like their main lineup. We got Emil P, Jax, Luna, Zilla, and Merc bagging. So this lineup has done really well throughout the season. Yowndrift being able to just pull this lineup out every week and just get really strong wins against everybody. Saturn, what do you think?
Yeah, I have to say, you mentioned that they only had 2 losses and they were both by less than 10 points. That's incredible. Like, that's so close to just having, a flawless record, 7-0. I think that's really impressive, but I think it just goes to show the strength of this lineup. I mean, Emil and Jax and Luna, all these players have been playing for a long time on CTs. I think Emil and Jax, one of the top players of all time on CTs. And Zilla also being a rather new addition to like the top level of CTs, the top echelon of competitive play. But he's been doing really well. I mean, when I look at the end of chart here, Jax is in the top 10, Emil is in the top 10, and Luna and Zilla are both sitting just outside of the top 10. So, very strong team overall.
Yeah, and of course, Luna, one of the best players in Division 1 last season when he was playing with SY, and he transferred over to YN and was able to perform really solidly. Merc as well, very solid bagger. I expect him to put in a lot of work here, and YN are going to need all those shocks. Anyway, let's shift over to Sop's lineup. I believe the room is... we have 6 people in the room right now, so let's go over this. So, Succeeder Parish, we've got Dacia, Frozen, Pascal, Torb, and Boodog. So this is the lineup they're going with. The lineup did kind of shuffle around a few times this season as Thunder ended up transferring out of Sop to play for RN, and Boodog9 ending up taking the bagger role. And then the main 4 runners has also shifted depending on player availability. So right now I think this is the strongest running lineup they've able to go with for the whole season pretty much. Dacia, of course, one of the best CT players right now. Frozen actually division MVP, and then Pascal and Torp also able to help out a lot. So I can see this war being pretty close. Both teams are really good. They both have really strong front presence and pack players.
Yeah, I have to say, looking at Sop's lineup, it's really, really hard because I think they're evenly matched up teams, but I have to give the edge to Sop. I mean, Dacia, Frozen, they're like the top 3 players in Lounge. I think they've been master for a majority of last season, which is just incredible. It's mind-blowing. And also Pascal and Torp, I feel like they're not players who are talked about very often, but they're both really good in their own right. I mean, Pascal and Torp, both CT Diamond, both have been playing on the same team for a long time, I believe. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And also Boodog, also a longtime CT player, and he's shown to be a pretty good bagger on CTs as well. So I think this team overall, has that slight edge over YN, but it's going to be a close matchup either way.
Yeah, and props to Boodog for transferring in for this season as a few of Succeeder Parish's players moved down to their second team for this season in Division 2. Of course, I play for Succeeder Parish too, so I'm a little biased, but I'm gonna have to give the edge to Sop as well. I mean, it's only an edge though. They're not going to be completely dominant by any means. It will be close, but I think Sop will win.
Yeah, personally, as an unbiased party, I think I also want to say that Sop is going to win this one. But my personal prediction for this is that Sop is only going to win by 20 or less, and I think the MVP for this match, honestly, I'm going to give it to Frozen. That's kind of like a no-brain pick, right? But because Frozen's just like the one person that stands out in this lineup, I would say. But yeah, I would say Frozen is going to drop like 100 or 110. What do you think?
Anybody in Sop's lineup can also pull out the 100. They've had matches where the point difference has been pretty even amongst them, so they've been able to contribute every single race, like no one's left out or feel like they're dragging the team down.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. So right now...
Sorry. I just want to quickly say that in these two lineups on these both teams, there's no like star player. Like all of these players are pretty evenly matched skill wise, and it's really hard, not just from their individual ability, but from their team playstyle as well, to really identify a carry. Because these teams at the top of competitive play, they realize how important it is to play as a team and not really care about indivs.
Nah, Division 1 is... You never see a hard carry in Division 1. Everyone's got to contribute, or they're going to struggle.
Oh man, if I was the bagger, I would be very nervous going into this matchup, because as you said, it's the deciding matchup going into the playoff seed, right? And you're going up against the second place team. That's just got to be nerve-wracking. That's got to motivate you to give it your all, to give you the performance of a lifetime.
Yeah, I think they'll be ready, though. I will note that Yowndrift is hosting this match, so we're just kind of waiting on Merc to join first, and then Boodog will follow after. That has to be the order that they join because of alternate spots.
Yeah, so I actually want to talk about something while we wait for the okay from both teams. So this week 8 track list.
Yes.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, as a sort of insider into the Sop team, what do you think is going to be like their major picks this war?
Major picks this war. Well, week 8 has like a ton of different types of tracks. There's like, I don't know, it's hard to say because like every team's track picks obviously shift depending on the tracks. So I think Sky Shrine, or no, not Sky Shrine, Sky Grove is definitely something we'll see because Skater Parish loves Sky Grove.
Yeah, and especially Pascal.
Nah, it's everybody in Sop, not just Pascal. He's really? Like the loudest about it. But I think we'll also see like Dark Matter Shrine, Cherry Blossom Garden. We'll probably see Mansion of Madness come out from YN's side. And I'm curious to see whether we'll see Windy Whirl or not, because it is one of the newest, if not the newest track to be added to the game currently. So have both teams been practicing? Let's find out,
Oh, for sure. And it looks like we've started the GP. We're preparing the race 1. As you said, YN starting in odd spots, Sop starting in even spots. Let's see what they pick. Frozen opting to go for... Oh, he's still looking. Looks like he's thinking about potentially... Actually, it's kind of hard to tell, but...
Looks like he's got the... Oh, Glimmer Express trains. Good choice.
Yeah, one of the... I would say definitely one of the more running-centric tracks in CTGP. If you fall behind on this one, it's just hell to catch up.
Yeah, there's ways to catch up, obviously, but yeah, it is a lot of tech front-running. And yeah, Glimmer Express trains, here we go. Race 1.
Oh man, I'm also very interested to see who will win the bagging battle in this one, because this track in this one is very hard, I think. Doing it shroomless, it's a lot to ask for of these two baggers, but we're gonna go into the race here. Frozen starting in 4th, getting wheelie bumped by 1st, but he's gonna get a box in 8th potentially. No, all the boxes get taken, and now the 8th place box is potentially left to Neil. That was a very clutch wheelie bump. I think he was going for the rail, but he got wheelie bumped by Daisy midair.
Yeah, and like, props to him for being able to save himself after looking like he's just definitely going to bonk off the track, but unfortunately Sop bottom 2 to start the race. And there's a lot of catch-up potential here. There's a lot of really good shortcuts. Frozen pulling a golden, that'll definitely help. Will he use it to take the rail cut coming up, or will he use it to take the red blocks? We'll see. No, looks like he just goldens up here. Good idea. Like, he take the grass cut and then take this. Get back.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure that it's such a good idea to stay in the back this early. You know, you got to contend for that early front presence and really set the pace of the race yourself.
Yeah, every single track front presence is really important. Triple Red's not being able to take the shortcuts, but YN right in front of him.
Yeah, these Triple Reds could do a lot of damage, and it connects onto I think that's Jax, right?
Yeah, the purple line. That is Jax.
Yeah, the purple line. You know, CTGP adding colored lines recently, a big step in the right direction, kind of restoring the vanilla aspect of the game, but slightly confusing to casters.
All right,
now we see a mega hold in 6th.
Looking at the bagging battle right now, it looks like Budog's kind of on his own in 10th, actually, so he should be able to get it. Mert kind of struggling to go backwards at the moment. He might just be chaining boxes in 9th.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we saw him sitting in 9th. He's just chaining now. Yeah.
Yeah, Frozen content to just hold this mega until, like, he's confident in Budog. They'll be able to get the shock. Wow, that red was really close. Nana not being able to trap that ramp. He's just like, he's doing a really good job at avoiding what YN is throwing at him right now.
Yep, very true. And we see one of YN members dying there, kind of, YN losing their stronghold on the top spots as we see Torp and Frozen moving up. But there's a blue shell that could potentially take out one of SOP, but it looks like they're setting up to cancel the blue shell and dodging Frozen in the cut, maybe.
Well, it doesn't look like they had it. They probably would have used it if so. But yeah, Frozen has a shroom to take the red blocks cut. Dacia is still in first. Luna able to catch up, but Stop holding down top 4 now.
Oh, it looks like Torp and Frozen both took the red blocks cut. Now that's going to put them in a really good spot. Top 3. But Luna is close behind in 4th. Will he be able to take that damage? Do some damage to the top 3.
This race is not over yet. There is that shroom strat on the very left of the track here. If Luna has triple shrooms, he might be able to do something, but no, it looks like he just follows the pack.
Man, a shock for YN would be so good right now. It would pretty much like give them a second win to the race, but it doesn't look like it's coming. It looks like this is going to be a top 3 for SOP. I don't want to say anything too early, but it actually looks like either
is this a top 4?
Oh no, they managed to shroom on the line and breaks the top 4, but that's a really strong race either way for SOP.
Yeah, unable to connect that red to get the top 4, but regardless, a massive race to start. It looks like it'll be a top 3, 5, 10, as Budog, I believe, is in 10th.
Yeah, I don't think he's catching up to Merc. Merc has just too much of a lead, but either way, top 3, 5, that's that has to be like a plus 15, plus 18 race, I believe, but man, that just goes to show how strong of a running track this is, I think.
Exactly.
Top 3, 5, even if you're the second place in the division, you can't really, once the other team runs away with top spots, you just can't really make a dent in there. Well, that was interesting race. We didn't see much action besides Frozen getting kind of unfortunately set back in the beginning, but he managed to come back, and I guess good on SOP for holding those top spots and really getting YN out of there. Well, let's see what the next track pick is for SOP, given that they're in the driving seat now. They're in top 3. I'm interested to see what they pick, actually. You said that they like Sky Grove?
Yeah, Sky Grove, but it's not exactly great for top spots, so I think they would like to save it for later.
Ooh, Garden of Dreams, another recent addition to the pack. Kind of a fan favorite. Also, I love it too.
Yeah, the Christmas update track's insanely popular amongst pretty much every player, like casual, competitive.
Oh yeah, and I think Garden of Dreams being one of the more frequent appearances in the track list, right?
Yeah. Shout outs to Desert Fork, by the way, for overtaking Peaks for #1 in custom track worldwide popularity. But we won't be seeing it in this match because of the it's not in the track list, so we won't be seeing it here. But here we go. So this is a pretty front run heavy track, although there is a shortcut. Ooh, 2 YN members getting bananaed, and suddenly Frozen has a Mega in second place. This is really good for him.
Oh, this could be really good, I think, if he stops to schlag some of the YN members after boxes so they can't, like, shroom up here. I think that'll be the play, but I think he's just going to opt to hold this one.
Let's see what he does.
Rely on Dacia to really do some damage. Oh, never mind. He takes over first, doing the cut with the...
Ooh, and Zilla with the TC, unable to pass it off to anybody, as he's just going to get shocked. But Emil P able to get into first off of that, as Frozen kind of slowed down a bit too much.
Ooh, Frozen with a very nice attempt at a snipe, but it doesn't connect, unfortunately. I still think he should have, like, schlagged with the Mega too, like, you know, because he knew they were getting shrooms in those mid spots. Could have really altered the momentum and really, like, stopped the movement in Strax early on to get into front. But, you know, not too bad. They're still 2-3. YN occupying first, but it looks like Frozen's getting a little bit of ground on him.
So I will note now that right up here there is a ground star bush. There's actually 2 of them. Oh, and Emil P able to get it. Yeah, so those weren't even discovered in the testing phase before this track even got into the game, but those 2 bushes off to the left can very rarely give you ground stars, and you're easily able to get them in first, but wow, that experience getting spoiled really fast as Emil P has the TC by Torp as he shrooms up with it. Oh!
Oh my god, a blow!
That is the slower route going.
Oh, looks like all is good for Sop though, because they're occupying top 2 as Luna is close on their heels with triple greens, but will it be enough to take him out of top 2?
Let's see what they do with these ground star bushes, because the shock is definitely in play right now, right? So let's see.
Oh yeah, and I think
trying to go for them. No, it doesn't look like they popped out, and that just makes it so YN is not able to get them either. So Sop still in top 2. YN looks like they might have shrooms here. Yep.
You really have to wonder when a shock is coming, and it comes now. Looks like it got all of YN after the cut, so they had a better position to be in aftershock.
I think the only dodger was Emil, and now he's in first. And then, yeah, we see Luna goldening up here. It looks like they're going to get top 2 this race after that shock.
I'm not sure. It'll all depend on how Torp holds down this position, but he can't because Luna gets a shroom and he shrooms in the second, and that's a top 2. Wow.
Very, very lucky pull. Very lucky pull to get that top 2. Nice comeback race. Sop able to get 3-4, but YN getting, it looks like 5th, and then like maybe 6th or something.
Yeah, looking at the results here, it'll be interesting to see how well they recovered after, you know, getting top 3 in the first race. But, you know, top 2 is always a winning race, I'm pretty sure, especially if you got 5th. That's going to minimize the damage somewhat, but it's, you know, it's early days, it doesn't really matter. Oh, it looks like top 2-4, that's big.
Wow, I think that's top 2-4, yeah.
Plus 10, plus 12 race? I'm not quite sure.
I believe that is a plus 15 race, so Sop 67 to 55 after race 2, up 12.
Yeah, I actually didn't comment on this because, you know, the race is so action-packed I couldn't really find the time to mention this, but the bagging battle was really close if you saw the mini-map. I mean, both of them were pretty even, you know, they couldn't go further back, so I guess they stopped at the set and they just you know, at one point when Merc had shock, it was kind of obvious because he was going forward on the mini-map, and Budog's only play was to kind of chase him down and get the shock out of him. So I guess good on Merc to pull the shock in that situation and really turn the tide of the race, because before that shock, it was Sop who was in top 2, and then the shock really turned the tide and allowed YN to take top 2.
Yeah, pretty good shock, all things considered. So yeah, Mansion of Madness, like I said, I knew we were definitely going to see that track this match because it is very popular pick in competitive play, especially amongst CT veterans that have been playing for years. They love this track. So let's see how this goes. Like, this track is ridiculous, dude.
Oh man, at this track, you know, personally I like this track, but I think it's kind of broken for running, as a lot of tracks in CTGP are, especially if those play at a high level. But you know, I still like to watch it. It's pretty entertaining as we see Frozen pulling triple shrooms early on in 7th place. This could be pretty good. He manages to sneak into a power spot. The pack kind of cluttered.
Yeah, so right now, on lap 1 at least, there's not really too many shortcuts to take advantage of. Like, the shortcut in this area only opens up on lap 2, and even then it doesn't save much, so it's best to just, like, get into the front and try to hold that spot as much as you can. So we already see
Frozen doing that now, shrimming ahead of Luna, trying to
Yeah.
contest that first place and, get a breakaway early on, potentially.
Yeah, Frozen loves to do that. Like, he'll pull a, he'll have a shroom in a high spot, and he'll immediately want to take over whatever spots he can.
Yep.
Oh, the bullets. Oh, that's
man.
tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
Luna able to
that's
take
another
first off
disadvantage of this track. The bullets are a big hazard that you can't really avoid that well. That was a pretty good exchange by Luna and Frozen there earlier, but I think now Luna's gonna have to give up the ghost because Daisy has triple res in second, and I'm not quite sure how well he's gonna evade them.
Well, that Fib not really connecting either, so he's really in trouble if he doesn't pull a protection item. Okay, there we go. Through another red, not going to connect to either, so it looks like his first is pretty safe at the moment.
Yeah, but I'm not quite sure where the other members of YN are currently, because it looks like Sop is occupying 2-3, and we're going into the last lap of things. Sop is actually occupying 2-3-4, so if YN don't get a grasp on Shock, this could be terrible for them.
Yeah, we do see Frozen in the back holding a star at the moment, so you gotta wonder what the Shock is looking like, because this is a sitting track, you can't go backwards, so the Shock might as well just be 50-50.
Oh yeah, and Frozen using a star on the other screen we see, but we have to focus on the other POV now. Luna, this is really key. If he holds this first place, this minimizes the damage that Sop could potentially inflict on them this race. This really just depends. He actually managed to back one of Sop. That's huge. That allows some space. He managed to back DC as well with Banana. That's huge. That allows more space for YN to take these mid spots and get some points for the race.
Yeah, gotta watch out for these bills now. Looks like he's got a pretty good pattern. Yep.
Oh, beautiful trick around the turn. I think he's got this, If there's no blue or a target shock, potentially, he's really a guaranteed 15 for the race. And this is exactly what he needs to do for YN. I mean, we're not really seeing them in the mid spots currently, so this 15 points is really crucial for YN this race. Oh, as we see mid spot POV, we actually see that Emil managed to sneak up into fourth. 1-4, I mean, that could be a decent race. It's not too bad if they get 1-4, but Frozen has a shroom, and he could potentially take over that fourth place at the line.
Yep. Oh, the Thwomp's getting in his way, though, but only getting passed by his teammate. Oh, and actually another YN member on his right. We got Jax passing him at the end because of that Thwomp hit. Those Thwomps are really tough to avoid if you don't know the pattern, and even then, like, they move so fast. So, like, avoiding them in a tough spot is really difficult. Case in point.
Yeah, we saw Torp and also Frozen getting, screwed over by the very blistering pace that the Thwomps were moving at. Losing 2 spots, I think YN got 1-3-5 out of that, so that put them at a considerably better position than they were looking earlier in the race when Sop was in 2-3-4-5, I believe.
Yeah, good job on Emil P for catching up. So looks like a 1-3.
1-3-6-8, I think that was. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty split race, honestly. YN able to win that race by 3, so it's pretty even. So now the spots are all over the place, and you gotta wonder what they'll pick now.
Yeah, I don't know. Will they play for the 1-3 spots, or will they play more for like a neutral sort of reset track? Frozen thinking about Sky Grove, and he's actually going to pick it. The Sop special.
The Sop special, yeah. Sky Grove pretty good for like any spot, honestly. Like while running, you can just take the shroomless shortcut at the end pretty safely, but then at the same time you have that massive shortcut at the end that was supposed to be Honeycoop only, but alas, people found a way.
Yeah, and I
think that's the thing.
Talk about. Sorry if I may interrupt. I just want to talk about last race. It was interesting how we didn't see a shock there, because a shock would have really turned the tide of the race for either team. I feel like.
Yeah, no shock there. Yeah, that kind of happens with tracks like that. Maybe the whole point for one team might be to just prevent the shock from happening at all instead of just pulling it yourself, and I think that's what happened. Skygrove, on the other hand, not a sitting track. Baggage are definitely want to go backwards here. The shock is insanely powerful on this track. you get the shock here, you can flip spots around in an instant.
Oh, that's interesting.
And already
Frozen pulling a Mega in 5th, that's lucky.
That is huge. If he's able to hold this, then he could just shield himself from any damage caused by a shock or something like that.
Yeah, so as a sort of recap, can you explain why shock is so powerful in this draw?
Yes, so the main route involves taking, well, the main route online anyway, involves taking that shroomless shortcut at the waterfall section. And you have to cross over some grass, and you have to cross over a giant gap. And if you get shocked in any of those spots, so the waterfall, the grass, or in the air, you lose so much time, more so than like any other shortcut in the game, really. The respawn is pretty generous if you fall off there, but you still lose a ton of time, and you're not able to take any shortcuts because of lack of boxes. So,
and actually looking at the mini-map, I think Boodog might have the shock because he's hiding with it at the, like, nearly outside the screen, I would say.
Yep, and Frozen's still holding this Mega. There it is! Torp actually dodging that shock too, and pulling another one? Are you kidding?
Wow! Frozen with the godlike pulls. I mean, YN were top 2 before this, so this shock really turned the tide of the race, as you said. Now Sop is occupying top 2, and it looks like a winning race for them. I don't think there's going to be enough time for YN to catch up at this point.
Yep, and Luna unable to take the shroomless shortcut. He's forced to go around, giving Sop all the spots ahead of him. Dacia taking the cut at the end. Top 3, potentially top 4. I believe that was
top 4! That's huge!
Yeah, it looks like Pascal did the exact same thing. He just takes the cut at the end, top 4.
Wow.
And that's what I mean. Like, Luna might have had the race, but like the shock completely ruined him.
Yeah, I mean, the Sop special, as I call it now, is really coming in clutch for them. I mean, they knew what they were doing when they picked this, and they played it to perfection. I mean, securing shock and really just calling a really good shock for not just Frozen, but the whole team, I would say. You know,
top 410, not quite a perfect race, but still perfect nonetheless, you know? Plus 29, Sop up 38 after the first GP, very commanding lead.
Yeah, I mean, 38 points lead in 1 GP, that's kind of insane, because you know, the very first race on Glimmer, they had a near top 4 spot, but Luna shroomed up at the end, so now they get what they didn't get first race. You know, they kind of rectified their mistake there. In a very strong position, you know, early game. Now the pressure's all onto YN because a near 40-point lead is going to be very, very, very hard at this level of competitive play to reverse.
Exactly, especially when both of these teams are super strong. There's hardly going to be any chances to just kind of make a team crumble like that. You know, you have to have a track that appeals to the extremes of either end of the racing spectrum, like heavy front run or like heavy shot or shortcut reliant tracks. Like, that's the only way to get races like that. So there's a chance we might not see another top 4, but you know, anything can happen.
Oh yeah, and I have to say there's no weak links on either team as well, because you know, we're watching this match and we're analyzing the performance of these players, but none of them are playing badly, so to speak. You know, Sop is definitely the more, I would say, team, the team that has the most form, I would say, right now. You know, showing us that they really want this W and that they really want to show their dominance over YN. But you know, at this level of competitive play, it's really hard to sort of, you know, have a high impact play in a race.
Yeah, exactly. So right now, Ice Peak Mountain and Yoshi Lagoon. And it looks like Yoshi Lagoon. Okay. I like Yoshi Lagoon from YN because starting in first here, you get a really good angle at doing the very first route on the track, not even one turn in. And then, you know, you're just kind of able to easily backspam second place. So let's see what happens here. Frozen starting in 4th. He's looking for a draft. Doesn't get it because of his teammate kind of swerving into him there. Alright, not much. Okay. Sop able to get, it looks like, into 2-4. So spots didn't really shift that much so far because of the first item not occurring for another 20 seconds. Triple shrooms, though.
Yeah, triple shrooms in 4th. I think this is kind of kind of great in the position that he's in. He's really close to first, and he's going to try and take over first place. But unfortunately, Zilla placing a very good trap, forcing him to go off the track and halting his push for first place early.
Yeah, that's tough. So, yeah, that'll give Wyan an instant advantage. That was a really tough fib to avoid. Like, he could have avoided it, but he just didn't get enough momentum to the right from that hop.
Yeah, that was a really good play from Zilla. You got to give it to him. I mean, you know, Zilla breaking away, I would say, early on. This is actually a very smart pick from Wyan, I would say.
All right, I'm just going to interrupt you for a sec. Pascal ended up taking the egg shortcut into first place. You realize that is one of the hardest shortcuts in the game, and Pascal just does it on lap 1, like, without a care in the world, just first by a few seconds suddenly.
Wow. That is impressive stuff from Pascal. Really, you know, taking over first place, really representing Sop in those top spots. But it looks like Wyan has actually, you know, Wyan's actually lost their grip on the top spots, and now they're scrambling. You know, they're trying to stay up in the front. Luna has these triple reds, but he's gonna have to use them to maintain that front presence. But it actually looks like Dacia fell off, which puts Wyan at top 2 right now, I believe. No, that's Pascal still first. Sorry.
Yeah, so Wyan is 2-3. It's really spread out amongst top 3. I don't see these spots changing anytime soon. Oh, the mushroom jank not going in his favor as Luna just takes a tumble off the track.
I would actually say he got kind of greedy there, you know? All he had to do was play it safe, but unfortunately, you know, he wanted to go fast, but unfortunately, that didn't work out for him very well. And now kind of, you know, really weakening the presence of those top spots in the front. You know, he had triple res that he could have used to further the lead of Wyan in 2-3, but you know, now that he fell off, it's really going to have to depend on Zilla to you know, continue what he started.
Yeah, but Zilla,
Zilla with the huge box steal, that's huge.
Oh, but this
now Frozen throwing this bomb, this could really do some damage, but it doesn't.
Yeah, Zilla kind of faking Frozen out a little bit, like making him settle for a bomb. There's the blue that Wyan actually needed because Pascal able to break away after that. So this will definitely help Wyan out a little bit as Frozen pulls a TC. He's going to have to scramble to find Zilla here, but the mushrooms is going to make both of them go at the same speed, and it doesn't look like Frozen will be able to catch up here.
Yeah, shock to actually cancel the TC? What is that?
Potential shock in 4. No, blooper. Not able to pass Zilla at the moment. No draft either. Ooh, getting clipped by Sand. Torb actually taking advantage of that TC cancel and getting into 3rd place. Oh, the bomb!
Oh my god, I can't believe that just happened.
And just like that, Sop pulling out a huge race, 1-3-4-5
Yeah,
wow.
They really managed to, you know, come back from disaster. I mean, you know, Wyan was in a really good spot, you know, 2-3 at one point, and I think they were also coming on 5th. But, you know, yeah, that's just rough. I mean, they pulled a lot of good items, and they also managed to do pretty well with them. You know, I think Wyan just got punished for their mistakes. I mean, you know, Luna falling off on those mushrooms is really kind of what started the beginning of the end in that race for Wyan.
Yeah, and Zilla also falling off on lap 3. Despite his best efforts to keep Frozen back, it was all for naught as he ended up dropping back to 7th at the end. But, you know, Sop making the best out of a bad situation, Frozen pulling a TC, but the shock came in clutch for them. Like, cancel the TC onto the mushroom, like your teammate dodges, and you just end up killing one of Wyan's top spots.
Yeah, that was a very interesting shock. Kind of a unexpected call, I would say, but, you know, I'm not sure if they had any dodges besides Torp. So it was kind of a heat of the moment shock, which actually kind of ended up working out for them. So I actually admired the call to make that. It was a really good decision. But yeah, overall, I would say Wyan made very crucial mistakes that cost them the race, because if Luna didn't fall off on lap 2, that would have potentially been a 2-3-4 that they could have just carried over into the end of the race. Even though Sop had shock, if Luna continued schlagging and if Zilla, you know, maybe also put like a bomb or something, that could have been a guaranteed 2-3-4 for them. But, you know, we have to move on. We have to forget about that race and move on to the next one. Volcanic Valley. I would say kind of a fan favorite amongst C teammates. I for one love this track.
Yeah, Volcanic Valley, like, fan favorite among competitive players ever since it came out, and recently got an update to fix some bugs and make some visual changes too, like making like boost panels visible on walls and stuff like that. So,
And the sad cat blooper.
oh yeah, hopefully we get to see the sad cat blooper sometime. Shoutouts to Zakruf for sneaking that into CGP. I don't know why he did that, but you know.
Ooh, we see a really good position for Frozen here. First with the bomb. That's gonna really, prevent Wyan from taking any of these top spots, because if they get too greedy, Frozen's waiting there for him with the bomb, and he actually opts to put it on the back, on the rail. That's very smart.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it connected. It just kind of exploded too early because I believe that's Pascal behind him. He was below the bomb, so it exploded too early before any Wyan members could get to it.
Yeah, and it looks like for now, Sop is just going to hold on to this top two. Wyan in 2-3, but Luna has a star in fourth. This could be huge if they actually manage to pull Shock.
Yeah,
that's the main win condition for them, I think. That's the game changer, If Wyan pulls Shock, they're able to, just completely annihilate top two for Sop.
Yeah, no Shock in play yet, though, so he just decides to hold it, maybe waiting until his teammate's able to pull it. I believe this is a sitting track. Because
this is a sitting track, yep.
Yeah, it has to be sitting track because going back any further would cause position trackers, glitches and stuff.
Dacia pulling a bill in 8th, that's one of the...
but Jax with triple red's able to immediately ruin that, so...
Yeah, kind of nullify the presence of Dacia in the top 3.
Yeah, and now Wyan is just waiting on either the Shock or the Blue to get them into higher spots as they are occupying 3, 4, 5. They are in position. Oh, but Jackson backspammed actually through his triple reds. That was pretty lucky.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, but that's just how it goes in Mario Kart. And they really have to change for this Blue now. I mean, it's getting into the last like 30 seconds of the track. It's dire straits here for Wyan if they don't crack this top 2 soon.
Yeah, it's like, when are you gonna use this Shock? Like, oh, the POW coming in actually forcing him into his star. Will we see it spammed or will it just be held? It looks like no. Sop pretty commanding top 2 now. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think either team has Shock at the moment. Or actually, never mind. Too soon. There's a Shock. I'm not sure whose team that was because it doesn't look like either team dodged up.
Ooh, target shocked Pascal, but it doesn't really matter because he's able to respawn further up and just grow first.
Oh, Luna's actually trying to hit Torp with these reds, but he actually just gives up a position to him. But maybe he'll get him in the end. I'm not quite sure. That was a pixel-perfect finish.
Did that get him before the line? I don't know. I didn't really see his position flicker to 4th there, but looks like at the worst case, it's top 2-5 for Sop. So yet another winning race for them.
Yeah, that was a very good, very well played by Sop. Again, I mean, in this war, they're definitely the team with the better plays and the better feel for when to take over top spots, because a lot of these races, they just take over first early on and they keep that.
Yeah, so top 2, 5, 8, 9 for them. Yet another winning race.
Man, Wyan has to be sweating right now. They just won 2 races back to back, Sop, and from here they have to be down 50 points. Wyan. It's just at this point you have to go Super Saiyan pretty much to win this.
Yeah, YN, I feel like they knew what they had to do to win that race, but they just couldn't pull the items that they needed despite having a star in a really high spot. Like, that could have changed everything, but no blues, no shocks. The POW forcing a star out of him, despite there being a shock at the very end. I guess it was pulled way too late. He wasn't able to dodge.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the call on that shock was, because the shock got Luna out like 2 or 3 seconds out of his star, so maybe it was a spam shock, maybe it was like a desperate attempt to get a dodge like last frame. But yeah,
someone must have dodged that, right? Like,
I don't think they did. I think I mean, we saw 6 players, but they were all shrunken, so I don't think that shock. It's kind of hard to diagnose where that shock came from.
I think what would have been funny to see is a shock at the very last turn, like when you go off the track for that early finish line. That would have been hilarious, but nah.
200 IQ TS spot.
Yeah, no such luck. So Gba Luigi Circuit, pretty interesting pick. I don't really understand the rationale behind this pick. Was this a YN track pick? I didn't really get to see, but
this has to be a YN track pick because I don't understand why Sop would pick this in top 2-5. I mean, they had so many better options, so this has to be a YN pick, I think.
Yeah. but why this? I don't know. I'm just very confused. But yeah, so a lot of shortcuts on this track, but they are very tight corners and like very small off-road shortcuts to begin with.
Oh, nice snipe by Frozen on Zilla, taking him out of second. As
nice.
AC gets sort of out of first, and now that now Frozen is in the driving seat in first.
Yep, spots being traded really quickly there, as we see. Looks like Luna goldening up in second, but Frozen does have that red to hold him back.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going for the schlagging play as a.
Oh, that was perfect. He knew that he never had an item because he passed all the boxes, so slowing down to red him there, just getting him out of there immediately, just sent right back to 8.
Yeah, and that's a very good example of Frozen's playstyle. I mean, he himself said that he's going to change those boxes and mid spots to get items that kill you. You know, he's going to be the one getting in your face with the trail red and just halting your momentum, getting in the front. It's just, you know, such an entertaining player to watch. And then hop dodge to top it all off.
Okay.
What a display of skill from this madman.
You didn't have to do that. I wonder if he'll make a play with this banana, because he has to. Like, there's no way you can hop dodge the POW like that and not make a play.
Yeah, and it looks like Wyan is actually occupying 2, 3, 4, 5 right now. So this is interesting, and they have a bomb in 5th as well. So they're kind of, you know, separating themselves from the bottom 3. I'm not sure if they have any dodges or who even has shock, but it looks like Boodog is further back, so he might have it.
They might still be going for it, or I think Boodog might be running away. But it looks like Boodog might be holding it, because Merc is kind of struggling to get backwards. Oh, there's the blue shell. That's exactly what Wyan needed to get rid of the pressure that Frozen had on.
And the pack is really close now. I think Wyan is holding on to top 2, and Frozen pulls an unfortunate TC. Switching over to Luna now, he has a star in 6th. If there's a shock, this could turn the tide of the race completely.
Here it comes. Will it show up? No, it doesn't look like it, because both teams in stars. It's like Pascal was predicting exactly. And there it is, actually. Who do we see?
I think dodging one of Sop.
No, I believe that was Zilla. That was Zilla dodging up. So why are you able to get top 3 off of that?
Looks like it was a bad read from me. It was actually Wyan shock towards the end of the race. I guess they didn't want to dodge SOP members when they were in stars earlier, so they just opted for like a last second shock.
Yeah, and it worked, you know? Top 3. That's all you really need.
Yeah, that was a very good race to get them back into the swing of things. I feel like that's the first race where I can say with certainty that Wyan played better that race.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, Frozen did what he had to do, and then like Sop was in a position to catch up, but Wyan just holding down shock. I initially thought Boodog had the shock because he was like way further back, but I don't know if it was 9th place or there was like a different sort of battle going on that I didn't see, but yeah, Wyan finally able to get a good race on their side, and suddenly they have some life. They can go their top 3 tracks.
Yeah, I have to say that this is kind of looking like kind of like a Cinderella story, like a comeback, I would say. So, you know, Wyan being down like 50, 60 points after 6 races, but now they're sort of bridging the gap slowly but surely. But they only have like 5 races to do it, so you know, they really have to step up their game and then, you know, give it their best if they want to win.
Yep, so let's see what they decide to go for now. Ice Peak Mountain. I kind of expected this track to come out too. Both teams do kind of enjoy this track. I personally enjoy this track. Ice Peak Mountain, honestly, one of my favorite tracks to play. It's just so goofy.
Yeah, it's one of the more challenging, but also one of the more fun tracks. But instead, we're going to be going to Comet Starway. This is kind of like a bigger running track, I would say. It has a cannon, which is an added bonus, I would say. You know, if you're going to cannon dodge top spots.
And first actually has a huge advantage starting here, because you'll see that first place is actually right near that beginning gap shortcut. They can just kind of use the startup boost to cut off as much as they can, and just like that, Wyan able to hold first, but Frozen actually able to break into that somewhat because of his starting position. Ooh, getting nanned out a little bit there.
That was a really good nano by Zilla, I have to say.
Yeah, that was nice. Like, there's a lot of spots like that you can just trap pretty easily. Yeah, Wyan, like, getting off to a good start right now, but Slop able to break in a little bit. Emil P shrooming up into 2nd place. Jack's getting hit by the Zapper, though, so it's only top 2. But regardless, top 2 is still really good for if Wyan could maybe pull the shot, because the cannon is really powerful here.
Oh, for sure, but it doesn't look like either of them are getting it, because they're still going backwards, still doing the strat. So we won't be seeing it in the next like 20 seconds, but this is just gonna have to depend on Wyan holding those top spots.
Those greens. Oh, it actually connects with Zilla like at the very last second, but those greens were really well placed, and that made me nervous. Like, who's gonna get hit by those? You know?
Yeah, that was a desperation play. You know, you just have to do that to break into those top spots. Even if you don't think it's gonna hit, you just have to spam them.
Yep. So Frozen actually, he's in a position where he's able to foil any plans that Wyan might have. But I don't know. Will they? If they have shock, will they opt to just dodge a meal in first?
Oh, there it is! But Frozen manages to dodge along with him. Luna actually dodging in the back, actually attacking third place right now.
Yep.
If they get 1-3 out of this, you know, YN, this is really good for them. But I think it's in jeopardy now. I'm not quite sure yet. I don't want to say something just too soon because you know, there is something in the race, but
yeah. So that was definitely YN's shock. They tried to dodge a meal only in first, but Frozen ended up getting in with him. And then Luna, you see, he actually dodged up in a star, but he ended up getting hit, so he didn't gain as much time as he would have liked.
Yeah, but this is looking like a photo finish. Actually, man,
no, what?
That was so close. If he managed to pass that TC,
when he gets bumped before the ramp, his race is over.
Oh
what
my god!
in the world was that? How did that TC not go to Merc there? He was just sitting still, ran right into him. But no.
Yeah, that was a clean hit. I'm not sure how that didn't connect. I mean, they are on different continents, so that could have gone in play. But wow, what an unfortunate. I think that was a TC in fourth or third. That's like not as likely as like mid spots.
But we do see Wyan still win the race off that though.
Oh yeah, good salvage from Wyan for sure. I mean, holding on first, even though they didn't quite get third.
Looks like Pascal disconnected.
Ooh.
So that might have affected things pretty. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I might have had a good race other than that. Like if Pascal didn't disconnect there.
Oh, for sure. Pascal's absence kind of showing itself in the results of that race. He wasn't able to bring his impact into the race and potentially thwart their plans. But I would say overall his absence didn't really matter that much because Wyan pulled shock, and that was the main separator. The key to that race was them pulling shock. Because they were able to dodge Emil, they were able to dodge Luna, and from there they could have taken over top two. But unfortunately, because Luna got hit, they weren't able to. So, they had the very good setup, but unfortunately didn't follow through on the execution because, that's just how it goes sometimes. I would say definitely props to Sop for, holding 2-3, kind of minimizing the damage that Wyan inflicted on them that race. But yeah, overall, I would say these last two races are a big display of what Wyan is capable of, right?
Yeah, exactly.
When they're pushed to their limit, when it's most important to score, they show up. They're all eager to play their part in the win.
Yep. So YN with some life here. Let's see if they can carry that momentum into GP3. So they are down, looks like 50 points, although the disconnect might have an effect on like what the actual point total is. We're still trying to figure that out. But yeah, it looks like YN is on track to make a comeback here, but Sop really just needs one good race to kind of put a stop to that.
Oh man, yeah, Sop is still up a lot, and now I'm pretty sure the deficit is like the same as it was GP1 pretty much, but now they have like way less races to compensate for the deficit, and now it's getting really scary because Wyan is now forced to win every single race if they want to win. They have to get like top 3 every single race pretty much.
It looks like Jax is going to be subbed out for Luke, so we're making a substitution on Wyan's side, maybe grabbing Luke to try and help them make this comeback. I guess Jax might have had to leave or something, but this will be interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Luke also one of the, I would say like older CT players, definitely one of the better CT players as well. Definitely capable in D1 at least. What do you think about that?
I think his talents translate pretty well to Custom Track Wars personally. Like his front presence is insane. and that'll definitely help because YN, while they've been able to hold down first a lot this match, they've kind of lacked like any like group front presence. Like they haven't held top 3 in a race that much. They've just been kind of able to salvage whatever spots they can at the last possible moment instead of just like commanding the race. And I feel like that's kind of why they are still down at the moment. So right now, the deficit is Sop is up 46 points. We finally figured that out. It looks like we're starting. So Luke in for Jax. We'll see where this takes it.
Yeah, and I have to say, looking at the standings right now, Jax is actually the least impactful runner with 36 points in 8th place overall, only beating the baggers. You know, I would say that you know, we didn't see much of Jax at all in the front, but you know, I still think that if he you know, picked himself back together and really got his head back in the game, he could have made some major impact on the game. But yeah, that's all in the past. Now we have to focus on the present. You know, down 46 points. That's a tall order, but it's doable. And now that they have fresh blood in the lineup, let's see how they fare.
Yeah. So Ice Peak Mountain versus GBA Bowser Castle 1.
I'm not sure why they're picking GBA Bowser Castle 1 at all.
Well, it's not bad for their spots currently, but it doesn't look like Luke or I believe.
Well, I mean,
Loon?
GBA BC 1 is kind of like a low trick simulator, isn't it?
Kinda, but Ice Peak Mountain. Ice Peak Mountain is the track of the day now, and yeah, I will note that Ice Peak Mountain is a bad track for first, so I feel like that's why Sop ended up picking this because they are starting in first, but they're also YN's starting in first, but Sop is in 2-4, so they're able to catch up really easily because first place loses a lot of speed because they start too close to the edge.
Oh yeah, and they have to realign a lot, I guess, to make that work, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's better to just like pick the track when the other team is in first, so they have a harder.
We see Luke getting back bombed, you know, being shut out of the top spots early, but you know, now Frozen with this golden, he could really get a breakaway in first, but he's kind of being you know, bottlenecked by Zilla, trying to schlag him with these triple reds, but it doesn't matter. It looks like Frozen's going to be able to escape him and golden in the first.
Yep, that is a really good shortcut. I forget who taught that to me, but I didn't know that for like years. That is a really useful golden cut, and Frozen able to take first. He loves being in first. So good play.
Frozen being able to drive like this in a, you know, against the second place team in a D1 match is just a statement in and of itself. But I think I spoke too soon. Caster Skirts, he hits the edge of the wall and slows down, you know, bringing him all the way down to third place. But he manages to. Yeah, that's really tough. I mean, he was sitting pretty earlier in the race, but now he's lost all of his breakaway, and now YN is in 2-3-4. It looks like,
yeah,
which is actually the driving seat for this race.
Showing a little bit of nerves, I think. You know, that could happen.
For sure, but they have nothing to be nervous about. They're the ones who need to be, you know, need to stay calm, you know, because they have a 50-point lead.
Oh, there's the shock.
There's
Luna
the
ends
shock.
up dodging. There's the golden, using it a little early, but this should be enough to get into. Looks like first.
Oh,
not
for
quite.
sure.
Actually.
Yeah, this is him getting into first here for sure.
Yeah,
but
Pascal
it
gonna
was
have
close.
a bit of a hard time here keeping his spot.
That's a bottom 3 for Sob. That is massive. That's a consequence of the mistakes they made earlier in the race. You know, Frozen throwing away first, and Luna capitalized on it by calling shock on himself and, you know, golding into first. That's
Yeah. I
you
feel
know,
like
it's hard to say who played better that race, but I'm pretty sure that that goes to YN because, you know, they identified the failures of Sop that race and they managed to exploit them in their favor. So I have to say props to YN for, you know, turning the race in their favor.
Yep. Yeah, Frozen's mistakes really costing Sop that race. Like, you gotta be able to hold first like that, but that banana that he had to avoid near the bridge strat, like, he had to have known that was there. Like, he passed it on lap 1. Just a pretty crucial mistake, and it ended up costing. Those mistakes happen, but you gotta pick yourself back up after that.
Yeah, and that's a near top 4 for YN. That's that has to be like a nearly 20-point gain, I'm pretty sure. So, you know, closing the gap fast onto Sop, you know, they got a second wind, you know, this new life, as they say, and Now it's looking kind of scary, I would say. Now it's looking like they have a real shot at bringing this back.
And suddenly the deficit is only 23. YN only need like one more big race like that, and it's dead even again.
Yeah. I can't even say who's going to win at this point. I was so confident, earlier that my prediction that Sop is going to win is going to be correct, but man, I'm really regretting those words now.
Yeah, Luke Luke subbing in might have been the lifeline they needed to get themselves back into this match. And they're going BC1 again. They like this track for top spots, it seems.
Yeah.
Low trick simulator, as you
Low trick simulator, yeah. But I don't want to say that YN, that Luke brought instant impact to YN, because they were, the last two races of GP2, they had a really good performance, on their own. So I think they found the motivation. Now they just need to follow through and really bring their plans into fruition.
Yep, and a really good start so far. So GBA BC1, very short track, only like a minute long race, maybe?
This is going to be like a minute 20, yeah.
Something like that. Oh, this bomb, chucking it immediately, see who it hits. Doesn't look like it landed on the track.
Oh,
Zilla putting on the
bomb
pressure.
goes too far, but Zilla tries to schlag, unsuccessful, but slows him down quite a bit. That's really good for YN, slowing...
Pulling a mega of his own.
Yep, Frozen can now do the same thing that Zilla did to him, potentially schlag, but I think he's just going to hold on to it because, in the event that one of the baggers pulls shock, that's an instant win for him.
Oh, and a bunch of people dying on that corner. Now Sop is in, looks like 1-3 and then like some bottom spots, but this mega will definitely play a part in winning this race.
Yeah, that was a mass collision on that corner with those triple greens and reds.
Yeah, there is no shock in play yet, though. 1-3-4 now for Sop. The shock will have to be a spontaneous decision, as on the other screen, Luna actually pulling the blue shell, and Luke is actually in first, so he's going to have to hold this. Oh,
yep.
this...
And
we'll
if
see what he does with Mega.
Oh, it looks like
maybe
he's
predicting
a shock, but he doesn't even have to dodge here. If he manages to hold on the fourth, that's a 2-3-4.
Oh, shocking them out!
Shocking them out, dodging one of YN. That's Zilla coming up,
hitting the ball. Zilla coming up too. Oh no.
Oh man, and it looks like actually Emil dodged up as well, so this is gonna be, I think, a 1-3-4 for them. That's the minute 20 track, actually, an ace up in YN's sleeve.
Yeah, no kidding. That shock came at a perfect time. Like, they got Frozen like right out of his mega, not even like last frame or anything. That was perfect.
Man, that shock caused a ruckus. That was like 100 actions per minute happening right in front of my eyes. I couldn't even process it, Thank you for the analyst Winter for giving us the rundown. Actually, Zilla managed to start two guys on the line, halting the progress of Sop towards the line at the very end. So this is looking like a really good race for YN, if we ever get to see the results.
I think this is one of those tracks where the baggers actually have to like drive the whole track. I don't know why that happens. It's like a CTGP thing.
Yeah, so I think that's a 1-3-4 for them. Even though I didn't quite catch the whole thing, that was a clutch shock for YN. I have to say that was the pivotal point of the race. That was where it all changed. That was when that was the point where it went from 2, 3, 4, 5 for Sop to I have to say like top 3 for YN.
Yeah, something like that. Like I said, the shock has to be a spontaneous decision, but that didn't seem spontaneous to me. They knew what they were doing. Maybe they pulled it like in the middle of lap 2 or something. Oh, top 3-5.
Top 3-5! Wow, I can't believe
way better
that.
than you thought.
Yeah. Wow, and we're approaching a tied game fast. This is now a 4-point lead for YN. They managed to turn this around in 2 races.
Oh, no way, dude.
That is nutty. I can't believe.
This is a crazy match. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. You know, you talk about potential comeback stories and you see teams like just barely fall short, but this time, no falling short here. They followed through cleanly. Luke providing the support that YN needed, getting first 2 times in a row to help them catapult themselves past Sop's big lead.
Man, all the Sop predictors in Twitch chat have to be shaking in their boots right now.
You know what? 4-point lead for YN now. The war could still go either way if Sop manages to find some sort of spark on Mushroom Island.
Mushroom Island picked for Sop. This could be one interesting race if we actually see Mushroom Island, but we're going to Daisy Cruiser instead. Yeah.
Yep. I feel like Daisy Cruiser, it is a very small track in terms of like width. So and there's a lot of tight turns on the track too. So, you know, Emil P might benefit from this quite a bit.
Yeah, Emil P might benefit. But also, I think the more important aspect of this is that if either team gets top 2 and they double back, it's over pretty much. Like only a shock at that can
that trailed green was perfect. Like Frozen not wasting any time to try to golden up there, but Luke putting a stop to that, and now he's back in 6th now trying to find something. Triple reds, but his team is in front of him, so he's just kind of has to hold these. Luna,
oh my god, and now he has
taking out multiple people there.
Yep, but now this is a free shooting gallery for Frozen. He can just take out whoever he likes with these triple reds.
And the Mega.
The Mega in 4th!
Yep. What? This could be really good for him, but they need the shot. Oh, there's a TC behind him, actually. It looks like it belongs to Sop, although it might have been passed off there.
Yeah, I think that was one of Sop getting TC.
Crafty table avoidance there, but ending up getting a post.
Yeah, Frozen really trying to, commit to that sort of unconventional line, but hits the table, but it's fine. As they call the shock here into the set and dodging Frozen, he pulls triple shrooms in 6th. Good pull. That might actually propel him to 1st, and he's going to hold the shroom in 1st, so, if a blue comes, he's immune.
Yeah, that was pretty perfect. That's really all they needed. Now it's just up to the rest of Sop to try and catch up.
Yeah, now this is all about the mid-pack. Now this is all about what they get.
Oh, there's the blue.
First.
There you go. Dodging the blue, holding 1st. It looks like Dacia was able to get into 2nd there, and yeah, now it's all up to Dacia to try to hold them off as they really need.
Yeah, I think we should switch to the other POV for the last few seconds of this. Going into the last set now. Luna in 8th actually hits
Pascal ended up pulling the bullet.
And I think that's a really good race for Sop. I think they managed to get like 145, if I'm not mistaken. It was kind of chaotic at the very end there, but
yeah. It looks like a mad scramble at the end.
Yeah, that was pretty much like the distance from 2nd and 8th was like almost non-existent. That was a very, very like compact pack at the end.
Yeah, that was crazy. I will mention that Pascal ended up pulling the bullet at the very end, so he might have gotten like a really good spot at the very end, and we couldn't really see it. Oof. Yeah, top 2, 5-7. So putting a stop to YN's huge momentum, that was a really good shock for them to stop that. And suddenly Sop is back up by 7 points. So YN needs.
This is like a very small sort of like this is kind of like distancing sort of. It's, like you said, it puts a stop to their momentum, but it doesn't kill it entirely. This is just a minor setback for YN. I'm sure they can do this if they really, really get a banger of a race. Because that was a plus 11 race, and if YN get one of those, or slightly less, I think they only need top 2 font or something, then they win. But this is a nail biter, man. I'm sweating. I'm watching through my fingers right now. I can't look.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Sop just needs to pull out like any decent even race and they win, but YN has to get like at least the top 2 and then something else. Yeah, YN has to play big here. Sop just has to play for scraps, and it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic that this race will have. Sky Shrine coming out from Sop, not something I see them pick too often, but I guess they're just kind of looking for a good front-running track.
Yep, Sky Shrine kind of more characteristic of UE, but it's a good running track nonetheless, and we're going to be playing it now. This is definitely more to Sop's situation, being in top 2. They can run it. But shock actually kind of important on this track, I would say. There's a few TS spots, and there's definitely potential to swing the momentum of the race back around with that shock. So. Well, let's see what happens here. So Frozen getting early protection. He could trail this and potentially, get Luke out of a top spot, but hit the ball, kind of sort of conceding.
Yeah, a little bit of time lost there. Looks like Pascal managing to take that top route with shrooms and getting the 1st.
Yep.
So top 245 so far, like not bad.
Yeah,
but
all of Sop is up here. All of Sop is up here. Yep.
Yeah, bagging battle looking like Brewdog is going backwards even faster. So 10th place for Sop. This could be big. Oh, Daisy getting taken out there. Green still bouncing. Yeah, like Luke doing some damage even though he's up here by himself. You know.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, if they don't get up,
that green. Oh, that was clutch. Like that barely avoided, and then it hits Emil on the rebound.
Yeah, that's a bit unlucky. And I have to say, like, if YN doesn't get up here, like right now, they pretty much have to play for Shock. I don't think there's any way that they win this if there's no blue or Shock. Like, you know, they missed the train to get up here pretty much. Like, you know, they have to play for the secondary objective now, which is the Shock. But we see Brewdog in last, and that makes me doubt, like, are they actually going to get the Shock, or is this just a done deal for Sop?
I don't know, but Brewdog still has the advantage despite neither team looking like they have it. As we see, yeah, Luna trying to golden up in 8th here. Like, bottom spots are really far behind. They need to, like, scramble to get up there. Luke
getting past a TC, but actually getting back green. So this is a very interesting swing of events now. And, you know, we see YN occupying 3-4 now, but top 2 has kind of some space to go.
Emil P entering a mega. Is there a shock incoming here? Yeah,
Oh,
there it is.
Huge. That's exactly what Ryan needed, and now they're, you know, Luna's dodging. He has another star. He could use this to potentially schlag top 3. Wow, this is a nail biter. If this actually, you know, if Luna manages to make a high impact play, this is Ryan's game.
Yep. But Sop's still up here. Like, it doesn't look like the shock did that much for them. Like, despite 2 people dodging, like they were so far ahead.
Man, they're gonna need a blue of some kind, or you know, they need like a few people like goldening up or something, because this is still a top 3 for Sop, and top 2 still has a bit of space.
The star is definitely
can make the star. Yeah, exactly.
This is so star. Casey is bailing out, like giving up his 3rd place, but that's all he really needs to do, as it looks like Sop gonna hold down top 2. There is a last second blue shell here. But
there's a last second blue shell. This could actually be huge if they. Oh no, the reds don't connect. That's so sad.
Oh, but YN actually getting a lot of mid spots there. A lot of mid spots. That might be like. There's a chance that it might be enough.
It's gonna depend on the last spot and also the bagger points. I think they got 2, 3, 4, and now they just need like 6 and 9 to win this. I think. Man, that was such a hectic ending of the race. I couldn't even follow what was going on.
Yeah, it looked like Sop had the top 2 secured, but that blue shell broke it up. They only ended up getting 1st, and that might be enough to hold them off. No, it looks like no. Sop ended up taking that match.
Oh my god, I think Sop actually clung on to the victory, but YN kept it so close in the last like 20 seconds. Like, oh my god, if they got 2, 3, 4, 6, I think they would have done it. I think that would have been it for YN, but it's actually Sop who come out on top.
At the very last moment, it looked like YN had it, but no. Like, Sop had top 2 at the end, lost 1 spot. They were able to, like, get a very even race, but YN actually losing that race by 1 at the end. And yeah, Sop ends up winning 370, 362. That was so close. That comeback was... It almost happened, dude. It almost happened. It was so exciting to see. But at the end of the day, Sop pulling out the win just barely. They have to be, like, sweating so hard right now.
Man, YN losing another match by 8. That's... Can you imagine if you had 3 losses, right? And they were all by, like, less than 10 points.
Single-digit points, yeah.
Man, I would be so demotivated if that happened to me. But, you know, YN can't focus on the loss. They have to focus on how well they performed in that, crucially, like GP3, and you know, how they were able to, you know, recuperate and come back, you know, not mentally, but like also just driving wise, making, you know, we saw more schlagging plays coming out from Zilla and also Luna. You know, like they played really well towards the end of it. Like, I honestly thought like this was YN's moment to shine. Like this was YN's match, but unfortunately, you know, in the last race, they missed out on the timing window to get up front, and they just had to play from the back, and it simply wasn't enough, you know?
No, just Yeah, it only took that one race to like swing it back into Sop's favor, and then the last race they got their track pick and they capitalized on it by getting exactly what they needed. They only really needed like one even race, and that's what they got. But regardless, both teams played extremely well, and there were good plays from either side, and it was a very exciting match. Like, congratulations to Sop for winning and pretty much securing first seed in Division 1. Like, they've only had one loss this season, and then YN now dropping to 5-3, so the gap between them is pretty big. So Sop, first place in Division 1. What a match.
I have to say, GG to Sop, you guys, man, I knew this was going to be a very close match. And in the end, I got my prediction, Sop going to win by less than 20. But
hey, me too.
yeah, we got it both right.
Yeah, Luke giving them like the push that they needed, but it wasn't enough.
Luke scoring 46 in that GP3. That's just insane. I mean, coming in cold pretty much, like coming in like without any warm up, without any notice, and then dropping a 46 in Division 1 against the top team. That's just, I can't even fathom that, man.
Yeah, Luke GB is so good, and he did what he needed to do, but sadly not quite enough. But like, props to YN, they played super well. They found what they needed to do to win. They made a huge push. Sop just barely holding it together too. They had a super commanding lead right out of the gate with that first race, and then after the first GP, it looks like they had it.
Yeah, and I actually want to draw a parallel to last week's match, Retain versus Sleep. That was also a very interesting match where Sleep, it looked like they had, they had it secure, but RN actually managed to pull out some big races, much like YN did in this match. So, that just goes to show you can't underestimate any team in this division. They're all really good, seasoned veteran players, and they really showed us what they can do if they when they're on fire like that. YN GP3 was nutty. All right, I think that's it from us.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to cast this match for you guys. Division 1 CTL looking really competitive.
Yeah, and I have to say thank you it was a pleasure casting with you, CC. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, like thank you for doing this with me. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys had just as much fun as we did. And yeah, we'll see you next time.